Oh my gosh. Yeah, I have no army left, so GG.
Good game.
Man, I felt like I was doing everything better that game too.
What's that?
I felt like I was doing a lot more stuff, like my game better. Oh, I totally forgot about my observer though.
Yes. Let's go ahead and load up that one real quick. But while we're doing it, absolutely, I felt like your army size was significantly better, and just better overall gameplay. Let's go ahead and talk about a couple things. Let me know when you're ready.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, so 3, 2, 1, play. Now, obviously, forgetting the observer is a huge thing. It puts you in the dark. When you move out, you have no idea what you're up against. I mean, you had a brief moment on the tower where you're like, okay, it's got like 4 medevacs and a bunch of marauders. But you're not able to see things like he's at 1-1 upgrades, or in fact, that's probably too many marauders for me to deal with. I shouldn't run out into the middle of the map and fight them. What you should be saying is, whoa, I gotta stay at home until I have like 3 or 4 Colossus, then I need to think about attacking. Or I need more Zealots because he's so marauder heavy to tank that damage. But what you did was you were like, oh, there's his army, go attack.
Well, I was hoping to
even if you don't
catch you off guard, but then I didn't have them on A move, I had them on move, so they just kind of walked in the middle of their own death.
Yeah,
so.
But I tell you, even with perfect micro, you would have got trounced there. I mean,
okay.
We'll talk about it when we get to it, but you'd never want to attack a Terran in open field because you'll never have enough force fields. It just doesn't matter. You need to attack them in confined spaces so that your Colossus can sit back untouched and reel in the damage. Here you have good unit count. There's the robo, good. You notice you're doing a great job of adding probes. You're actually a little bit ahead of me. But just completely forgetting this observer, as we can see, does hurt tremendously. You do have the right number of sentries, though, and there's that pylon perimeter. Fantastic. You were chrono boosting. You're slipping on a little bit here, but that's understandable. Oh, there's the observer. Okay.
Well, I sent it over, and then I never looked at it the rest of the game.
Oh.
That's what.
That would be an issue.
Yeah. It just sits there.
Let's go ahead and slow it down here. So I'm on faster speed at 1050.
Okay.
Slow it down a little bit. I want to look at a couple things.
I'm on faster now. I don't know.
Good. So you're doing a great job of spending your money. A couple of pointers here, though. Like we do have a Colossus. Nope. See how it's you have the robotics blade finished, but you made an immortal instead. This should be a Colossus. If you have enough money, the second you throw down the robotics blade, sure, go ahead and start an immortal then. But otherwise, you're just cutting into time that you otherwise could have got a Colossus out.
Okay.
The next thing to look at here too is you have high minerals, low gas. What do you think that means you need to do?
I think I
take the gas to your expansion.
Ah, yeah.
Okay. If you have 1900 gas and 15 minerals, but you're mining off of 9 gases, then guess what? Take some probes off the gases so you can get more minerals going. But this is the opposite of that. So adjust accordingly. Now the next thing is you're adding a gateway, which seems good, but you can't afford to do things like start the range upgrade. So the range upgrade should have been started faster.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you got to prioritize that. It's got to go Colossus and then ASAP range upgrade.
Yeah, and then I just walk right through everything. Yeah.
Yep.
That was awful.
Then right here you lose a couple of stalkers, and here comes his attack, and I don't like it. Even though you're on move command, which is wrong.
But still, yeah,
you still would have lost.
Definitely.
Not as handily, mind you, but there's no reason to fight there. Okay, so let's go ahead and pause here. This is the end of the game. Here's what I want you kind of thinking in your decision calculus, and these are truths I'm about to spill for you.
Okay.
There's 3 scenarios where 99% of the fighting should ever occur. One, you have to, meaning he's attacking your expansion, he's, dropping your main, whatever. He's brought the fight to you. Obviously, there's no running. You have to fight. Okay, that's one scenario where you fight. Two is you're going to win. If you absolutely have the bigger army and you can win the fight, then you always want to fight. Okay? And then three is there has to be some kind of decisive reason. Like, let's say I have Dark Templar, he doesn't have detection. Let's say I've got Phoenix and he's got Mutalisk or something. Some kind of... He's all Marines and I've got 4 Colossus. In those situations, you don't have to. He didn't bring it to you, but you have some kind of advantage. You have some reason that you want to fight. Yeah. Those are the 3 reasons. I would entertain, we could have a discussion about the fringe other reasons that could occur, but for the most part, those are the 3 I want you to focus on. This fight you just did, and part of the reason why I want you to focus on that, it doesn't represent any of those. Yeah. Even if you thought you could win this fight, then I'm here to tell you that you couldn't. Like, let's say you microed it perfectly. Let's say you didn't move command. Maybe it's a wash. That's still not good enough for you to fight. You don't want to trade armies as a Protoss. Yeah. Okay? Once you lose those Sentry, once you lose that Colossus, those are tougher to rebuild than Marauders and Marines for me. Yeah, absolutely. Okay? So, never trade unless you have to, of course. Alright. But then I want you to follow that rules for engagement. And this is not there. Now, honestly, of all the things I've told you today, that's the most important. Like, if today you learn that you don't fight unless you have those reasons, then you're a better player today. And that's something that took me months to figure out. Now, the next thing I want to talk about, and this is more like if you don't get it today, that's totally fine. But this is more high level. I want you to look at your main mineral line. Go ahead and box them. You've got 23 probes on the mineral lines. Yeah. Okay, if you look at your natural, you box it. You've got 16. Nope, you've got 12. And you're about to stick 3 on the gas, or you're supposed to. So what I want you to kind of be aware of is that you're supposed to have an equilibrium between these spaces. So get comfortable when you expand, transferring over those 8 or 9 probes, just like you did. But then sporadically looking at your mineral lines and being like, I still have more at my main than I do at my natural. Go ahead and grab 3 or 4, or 4 or 5, and send them over at the natural. Okay? If you watch a top-level Protoss player, that's something they do routinely, just common practice, because you want a more equal saturation between the 2 bases. That way your money comes in more efficiently. Yeah. Does that make sense? Absolutely, yeah. Okay, so those are the big things. Now the other things too, you did a great job chrono boosting for the most part. Your infrastructure is in the right place. We talked about getting range first and then the 4th gateway. But aside from that, good. The Immortal shouldn't have happened unless you had money the second you threw down the Robotics Bay. You want to get this Colossus out as fast and as often as possible. You always want to have 4 Colossus opposed to earlier in the game, especially. Yeah. If you had 2 Colossus in this fight, you had more Zealots or something like that, then maybe you win that fight. Who knows? But as it is right now, you don't.
Well, yeah, if I had sat back and done if I had prioritized the range, I would have
shields for sure.
Really easily. Well, not really easily, but way.
Your mic's cutting in and out, so I don't mean to sound rude if I'm talking over you, but I can't hear what you're saying.
That's fine. I said if I had prioritized range and then didn't engage in the middle but waited for you to come to my natural, I probably would have been able to defend much easier than just getting stomped. So.
Right. You certainly would have had a much better chance at the very least. So let's go ahead and back out of here.
All right.
So that's heading in the right direction. Now the last thing to improve upon is, of course, utilizing that observer as opposed to throwing it at my half the map and then forgetting it exists, right? Yeah. Very important information. I want you to check the infrastructure of your opponent, and then I want the observer to find out where the army is, and those are its roles. That's it. Okay. So it gets over there, you check, because you don't want to have like 5 starports being built in the back of their base, and you just don't find out about it until a bunch of Banshees show up, right? Yeah. Like, I know that seems odd, but it could happen. Yeah. and you want to make sure that you're checking so that it doesn't happen. And then after that, you don't have to follow the army around. Some Protoss do that. But what you can do is be like, uh-oh, his army's left his natural. I shouldn't have my 2 stalkers running between the towers right now. They're going to die.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then aside from that, everything else you did, fantastic. I mean, in 1 hour's time, I feel like some pretty good stuff. So do you have any questions for these last 5 minutes that we can talk about? Or
let's see. So with, like, I don't know, one of my biggest weaknesses too is looking at the minimap while I'm playing. I find myself, looking at the screen because this is the first, like, RTS I've